Nations and groups will have 5 minutes. If I could ask that you swear everyone in, Nicole.
Okay, anyone who is going to present tonight, if you can please stand and just raise your hand. Stand.
If you could please stand as well.
Okay, do you affirm that you will tell, the truth whenever you speak, and everything that you say will be the truth and nothing but the truth? Okay, they're sworn in.
Okay, and ma'am, I'm sorry. I think you're wishing to speak. I didn't see any affirmation. Or will you be speaking as well? Okay, but will you be speaking or no? No, it'll be. Okay, great. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, first item, case number 2507-0001, property address 1918 Northeast 32nd Avenue. Let me start with disclosures. Jared?
Nope, nothing to disclose.
Okay, Amy?
No.
Doug?
I drove by and measured.
Okay, Bob?
None.
Jason?
None.
Pat?
None.
And I did a site visit as well. Do we have an applicant? Okay. That would be your spot. I overheard you before. You haven't been since we were at City Hall.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you could just make sure the microphone's on and state your name in relation to the property.
Am I coming through?
You're not. There's a little button down in front.
How about now?
Perfect.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. Good evening. I'm Mark LeBate. I'm here representing the owner of the property, Raphael Sofers, who's here with us tonight in the audience. What this involves is asking for a variance to basically put a small bird bath in the front yard. Now, in his neighborhood, a 25-foot front yard, unencumbered front yard is required. Well, the variance we're asking for is to locate this bird bath, a nice marble bird bath, just inside, 1 foot inside the 25-foot front yard for aesthetic purposes and well, it is for aesthetic purposes. I'm mindful, obviously, that there's a 25-foot front yard. There's not supposed to be anything in it. If you look at the site plan and the photographs that I supplied, it'll be apparent that the bird bath will not be obtrusive or in any way affect visibility of the front of the residence or interfere with the possibility of parking emergency vehicles should those become necessary. I would say the photos are probably the best view of that, but also the site plan will show you exactly where the bird baths are going to be placed. The front yard is practically all driveway. So there's plenty of room for vehicles, and the other part of it is the part where the bird bath's going to be intruding on is a grassy area that would be, that could take up any drainage that the bird bath would require. So while we cannot help but concede that we're asking for a variance, but our position is that it's not in any way going to affect the spirit or affect the purpose of having a 25-foot front yard. In other words, the bird bath itself is a total of 9 feet, but it's the only part of it above any breadth at all is the base, which is a little bit shorter, a little bit lower than 3 feet. So it's not going to impede the visibility of the area, and it's not going to affect the parking of any emergency vehicles or anything else. That's pretty much it. It's not a complicated argument.
Okay, I'm going to ask you not go too far. I'm going to open up for public hearing. Is there anybody from the public wishing to speak to this matter? Okay, sir. I'm going to ask you to come up. I'll ask you to kind of switch over here. And if you could please introduce yourself, your name, and your property address.
Good evening. Thank you for this opportunity. My name is Ken Fengler. I live at 3031 Northeast 22nd Street for the past 43 years. I'm a founding member of Dolphin Isles Homeowners Association and current board member. And we respect the right of our neighbor in Dolphin Isles to ask for this variance, but a couple of points that we would like to bring up. First off, we encouraged neighbors within 300 feet of the residents. 12 of them residents are within 300 feet. 5 of them voted against this. 1 voted for. What this does is set a precedent. There are, of the 214 houses in Dolphin Isles, none of them have asked for a variance or have any structure in the 25-foot variance. That's the standard operation in Dolphin Isles, which we believe should be kept. One of the other things, the board also of Dolphin Isles, which 4 members, which I'm a member of, also voted against this. And one of the things or questions that would be brought up, that code compliance had a permit that trees were to be replaced in this 25-foot variance area, and they've since 2018 have not been replaced. So that was a question. If they're going to put anything else in that 25-foot, we would like to see the code compliance edict met from 2018, and the trees be replaced rather than the bird bath. In hindsight, to bird bath, I think the birds can fly another 25 feet and land somewhere else on the property. Thank you.
May I ask you a question before you leave? Now,
Sure.
Did you have an official board meeting about this?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
Yes, we did. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else wishing to speak? I'm going to bring the applicant up. I'm sure that there's going to be some questions from the board.
Sure.
So, Doug, you can start.
I received comment from my client that the trees are going to be back there.
Okay. Thank you. Doug?
Okay, do you have a picture actually of the bird bath you're suggesting? Because the one that's in the picture is obviously not what you're talking about. You're talking about something that's 9 feet high or 9 feet wide.
But the only thing I've got, and I was looking for that, but we couldn't find one. I believe the site plan has got a diagram of it. So, I mean, I know it has it, and if you, okay, yeah, well, that's basically what the site plan shows.
Well, the picture's not going to help because we can't enter it into evidence.
Yeah.
So,
understood. So the site plan would be the illustration I have of it. So what it is, we're talking about a segmental stone accessory structure, I was glad to learn that word. But you put it together, you see how it's, I don't know if you're looking at the site plan, but you'll see so it comes in those pieces, those get put together, and then it's basically stacked on top and held together with dowels.
But it's coming 4 feet into the grass and 4 feet onto the existing pavement, and it's 8 feet high?
9.2, I think, total.
Sir, I'm either going to have you up here or there. If you would like to speak, it's not going to help there, sir. Sir,
May I speak to my client?
if you're going to speak, I'm going to need to have you
Yes,
speak
would
on
you
the
please?
record, the microphone, not separately. I'm going to leave that to your attorney.
Not right now, thank you. Okay, any rate, where were we? I'm sorry.
I think we were talking about the size, right, Doug?
Yeah, we're talking about the
Yeah,
size. I mean,
the base is like 8 feet. As you can see, although there's some curvature to it, basically the top it's a ripple on the side, but the top edge is as if it were a right angle. And so that admittedly, the base is the only part that would, it's the highest. It's I think just a little bit under or over 3 feet height. But other than that, it's not going to impede any visibility. I'm not aware of any other, in other words, when I was sitting, why do you want a 25-foot front yard? And that's what I came up with. You want to be able to see what's going on, and you want to be able to get emergency vehicles in there, I suppose. I'm not sure if you have any other concerns, but Go ahead, Mr. Gales.
That's all right. I'll actually call him then, but I appreciate that.
Okay.
Jared, you had a question? I'll let you speak.
Yeah, just as far as, the height on here is showing as 9.2 total, so
Right.
obviously we're going by those plans. And the other question is, so it's a bird bath, it's a very nice bird bath, but
Right.
is it a fountain?
No.
And so, okay,
No,
so
too
that's something that we just
complicated.
have to, okay.
And if you're asking how we're gonna keep the water clean, there's some organic products that you can do that.
I'm not, I'm want everyone to do what they want to do with their property, but we also have to do it to.
Yeah, I understand. That's a good question. I was kind of anticipating.
Your plan says fountain.
I'm sorry?
Your plan says fountain.
Oh. So, well, no, my site plan says bird, well, the one I'm looking at says bird bath.
This is bird bath, the one I have here.
This one says fountain location and details.
Is that in the survey? It's not a fountain. It's a bird, I mean, it would be a fountain if it had plumbing to it.
No plumbing, no electricity, nothing.
Yeah, there's no plumbing, no electricity.
No lights, no nothing.
Nah.
Okay. Jared, do you still have questions?
It just appeared to be too complicated to do that.
And the trees that were removed and that are going to be replaced.
Wasn't really prepared to answer that because I didn't know about
Okay.
that, but my client says that they
Okay.
are. All
Yeah,
right, you
no-
want to come up and,
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead. You
You
know
come up,
that's
we're-
something you can comment
We're
on.
going to swear you in real quick because I don't think you were sworn in. Nicole, if you could swear him in, please.
Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I'm just going to have you start from the beginning. If you could just state your name and
First name Rafael, last name S-O-P-H-E-R, property owner and builder. Thank you. Came there to beautify and made this guy money by putting a beautiful structure in Dolphin Isles. No house looks even close to my house. Thank you very much, sir.
and I'm going to ask you this because
Yes.
you're up here really to answer questions versus
Yes.
a new presentation. So, Doug, I think
So
you had a
in
specific
reference
question.
to the trees, I'm going to answer you in
Okay,
reference.
Jared, sorry.
So the reason, if you look, you were at the site, right? If you look to the left, you see the landscaping finish, right? You look to the right, you see landscaping finish. The side of the house is finished. The only reason that this was not finished, the front of the house, is because building department approved this plan, the bird bath, okay? And then when we got to zoning, they said, look, I particularly do not object to this. This is beautifying the community. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you go in front of you guys, then I will come here and say that I'm okay with that. So in reference to the trees, once we get either approval or disapproval, all the trees are on the plans, and all the trees required by the landscaping, which is a very nice gentleman here in the city, part of the new construction, will be planted in front of the house. What the gentleman says that we are cutting trees, we're doing things illegal, or blowing the phone off for the, instead of helping us beautify his community, he's calling constantly the
Okay,
building
we're gonna
department.
keep it backtrack. So the answer
Yeah.
is you're going to put trees back.
Yes.
Okay.
It's, if you see the master plan,
That's okay. That was the question.
all the trees gonna be, and they have to pass inspection.
I'm sorry
too.
that I'm going to cut you short, but we're going
It's
to
a
just get through this
6 foot trees
program.
by
I
3
don't
feet,
need
3 feet
additional
by 6
information.
feet. All the trees gonna be.
Sir, I don't need additional information. This
Thank
is
you,
really
sir.
just questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going to have you come back up if you would, please. I think there may be some more questions. Anybody else from the board have a question? Jason?
As much as I personally don't really have a problem with this fountain, I
Right.
just don't think that you actually have satisfied any of the 5 requirements for
Yeah,
obtaining
you mean
this
in the
variance.
application?
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it wasn't easy to do.
I mean,
and I
I
would
don't think it
only
meets
have
I don't think it really meets any of the criteria for a variance.
What I would say is the variance is the minimum variance to make possible reasonable use of the property. In other words, number E. E. And basically my argument is that it's a de minimis, that it's a de minimis variance.
Okay. Does anybody else have any questions for the applicant? Pat?
I don't have
questions?
any questions, but wanted to have some discussion once you close the public hearing.
Okay. In that case, thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Doug, did you have something else? I'm sorry. Okay. Great. In this case, I will close the public hearing and bring it back to the board. Pat?
Okay. Jason brought up my concern with this, and that is you don't have to meet just one of the criteria. You have to meet all of the criteria. And your application specifically says that you don't meet. I mean, it's not like maybe you do, maybe you don't. And again, I agree with Jason. It's, it seems silly that we're talking about a bird bath, but you're supposed to show that there's special conditions and circumstances that affect the property which prevent the reasonable use of the property. The ability to have a bird bath, in my view, does not limit the ability to have reasonable use of the property. Yeah, you may want a bird bath, but because you can't have one doesn't mean you can't use your property in a reasonable fashion. And then one that really got to me was circumstances which cause special conditions or peculiar to the property at issue. And you honest, and good for you. That's a very honest application. But you say applicant knows of no special conditions. And since you have to meet all of the criteria, not just one, wait, there's no discussion, the public hearing is closed. The first two are the criteria of the 5 criteria that you're supposed to meet, you don't even come close to. So as much as you may think that a bird bath is de minimis, in this particular case, you don't meet the criteria, and it's very clear that in order for us to grant a variance, you do have to meet the criteria.
Thank you. Is there anybody that would like to make a motion unless there's any further discussion? Okay,
I'll make a
Jason?
motion to deny the request for variance because the applicant has not met any of the conditions required for the granting of a variance.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Mr. Hagopian. In that case, Nicole, if you could please take.
A yes is to deny.
Yes.
Yes is to deny.
Mr. Wolf?
Yes.
Mr. Mead?
Yes.
Mrs. Rutherford?
Yes.
Dr.
Yes.
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 Yes. Okay. Thank you. Okay, if I follow my notes, we're going to go on the next case, case number 250-80001. Property address 2600 Northeast 8th Street. Any disclosures? Jared?
No.
Amy?
No.
Doug? Bob?
None.
Jason?
None.
Pat? And I have none as well. Okay. Sir, I understand that you're going to speak. I know you haven't been sworn in yet, so we're going to have you sworn in, and then we'll have you come up to speak. So, Nicole, if you could please swear the gentleman in.
Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Okay, thank you. If you could come up to the microphone, please state your name and property address.
Shane Ames, architect, 203 Dixie Boulevard, Delray Beach, Florida. The address of the property is 26...
One second, I'm sorry,
Yes.
Nicole.
Shane Ames, A-M-E-S.
And he's actually on the papers. You got it, of course. Sorry, go right ahead, sir.
Address of the property is 2600 Northeast 8th Street in Fort Lauderdale. What we're here for, do any pictures come up on the presentation?
Hope so.
Yes.
Oh, don't press that one, back to us. Is that the picture you're looking for?
Yeah, that's the first site picture, yes.
Okay.
This shows the neighborhood and the streets. Our home was 60 years old, historic. It was never built with a garage structure at all on the property. The house is on a raised pedestal foundation and floating wood joists on the floor. So there was never a garage built on the existing original house. When you look at the property and the setbacks, probably have to go to the next page. There's the property right in the middle on the left with the red roof. That one right there. That is the property. It's a corner lot in a very old neighborhood. What we're looking to do is the house currently has no garage and no place that one can place it on the property with the setbacks that can be taken from either direction because it's a corner lot. As we're looking at the property, we want to put a garage in the lower right corner, tucked away, a one-car garage, because right now there is no place to put anything. And with all the thefts that are going on, we can't put bicycles outside. You can't put a motorcycle. You can't put a car anywhere. That's not going to get disturbed. So the back corner on the right there, if you reverse the setbacks, instead of from the main street, on the left side of the street, it is 25 feet. The front, where the driveway actually is 25 feet, but it puts the rear at 15 feet, and it puts the side at 5 feet. So we're trying to reverse the setbacks on a corner lot to allow for a one-car garage down the right side and tuck it all the way back in the corner. And if we go to the next page. Okay, next page. This indicates the red dot is the site in question and the streets around it. Every other house in this neighborhood has a garage of some kind to be able to put a car in or anything in. If we go to the next slide, front of the house, this is where the front setback is. We are planning on going to driving that driveway, go to the left, and go down the side of the house so the thing is completely tucked away and you're not even going to see it from the street. Next slide. This is down the side where it would be placed. Next one. Back in the area, back in here. We are relocating the air handler unit and tucking it back in the back corner. This does not complicate any of the neighbors or any of the neighbors' views, as all the houses surrounding all this corner right here are completely reversed from any view. There's no swimming pool opening up to this back corner and no views out of any of the houses. And go to the next slide. That's the little area going back in the back. And the next slide. This is the area in the back corner where the driveway would be leading back to. There's currently a patio back there and a bunch of palm trees that are going to be removed. Oh, the two right palm trees are going to be removed because the garage will fit in, slide in. Go to the next page. That's the gate. This is where parking is on the side. And go to the next. These are houses surrounding the neighborhood. It's a very interesting neighborhood. This is directly in front of the property. And they have covered parking, but no garage. But it's around the backside. The next These are the other neighboring houses, all with two-car garages. And the next slide. And the next slide. This is the house, I think, to the left of the front, where their driveway is all the way on the right side. Next slide. The other neighboring house, which has the garage tucked back in. And the next slide. Another house with a side entry garage. So every neighbor in this neighborhood has garages besides this house. You go to the next slide, you'll see the survey of the property. We have a circular drive leading up to a front walkway that leads up to the front door. The lower right-hand corner is where we're suggesting to put the garage. If you go to the next slide, the left corner, that dark gray, that light gray right there, that's the new garage location. The dark portion is the driveway that's going to lead back to it, and the rest of that is how the house is situated. There are some dotted red lines on there of what the setbacks are on this property. For looking at the property, is a 25-foot on the right side, which puts 15 foot on the left side, which puts 16 feet in the front and 5 feet in the back. Now, if you go to the next slide, you'll see the dotted line of where the other interpretation of a corner lot is. The other interpretation is the setback in the front is 25, where the actual front door of this house is on the bottom of the drawing. That was set back to 25 feet, which the house is currently sitting at 24 feet. The right side of the house would be a 25-foot setback. The rear of the house would be a 15-foot setback, and the left side where we are putting the garage would be a 5-foot setback. And that 5-foot setback is what we're looking for on that side to tuck that garage back up in that corner. And if you go to the next slide, this shows the location of the garage and the area in the back for the bicycles and motorcycle. There's an existing wood deck that is adjoining that. And this does not affect the historic house in any way as far as damaging the property. This back corner, there are no windows in this garage, so there's nothing to interfere with the neighbor's enjoyment of living on this property. So if our setbacks are reversed on this thing, we can actually legally put this in there. And the next slide. The front of the top left shows the garage, which is all the way set back, and the existing house of the, and then the other side elevations. And again, this house has never had a garage when it was built originally in 1960. And the next slide. This is a rendering of what it would look like with the garage tucked over to the left in the back corner in all of these situations. The bottom picture is a picture of the courtyard that would create on those where those existing palm trees are currently. And that would conclude the presentation.
Thank you. Is there anybody from the public wishing to speak to this? Okay, sir. I'm going to ask when you come up, if you could please state your name and your property address, but come up to the microphone. And sir, I may have some questions. I'm sure the board was going to have questions for you afterwards.
Chair,
Yes.
before you proceed, we just want to make a minor correction
Okay.
on the agenda. The overall number is the same. 9 foot 8 inches is the reduction request, but the top number is 5 foot 4 inches is the setback. So to match that 5 foot 4 inches and 9 foot 8, the number is the same, but the top number should be 5 foot 4 inches. That's what the setback is from the building.
Okay. Thanks, Mohammed.
Thank you.
Hi,
Hi.
my name is Slava Duris. I'm an immediate neighbor of this property where garage is supposed to be built.
Okay, and if you
And I
could please give
object-
that address for the record?
735 Intercoastal Drive.
Thank you.
And I would like to object against this garage to be built for a very simple reason. It's on our backyard, and once this garage is going to be built 5 feet from property line, we for sure going to lose enjoyment of enjoying our backyard, where is our patio. Another thing which is happening there is a electricity which is with posts, with wooden posts, and once they are rotten or whatever, they're going to have to be replaced, and there would be actually very minimum space to put it back on. So I just object to be built, this garage. Maybe on another side, I don't mind, but if I sit on my property on patio and I look at the garage, wall and driveway, which is going to be through whole property, that's not, what we wish. That's all I got to say.
Thank you, sir. Is there anybody else from the public wishing to speak on this matter? Okay, if you'd like to speak, I would ask that you be sworn in because I know you weren't going to speak originally. So, Nicole, if you could please swear him in.
Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Thank you. And if you could come up, and then I'm going to ask you to.
I'm the property owner. I represent the property owner. I just was unclear about because I had spoken to Slava. And
Okay, I'm going to ask you to start. I'm going to ask you to state your
my
name.
name is James Prokanik.
And are you residing on the property?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Excuse me? Procanik.
And right before you go, I'm sorry, Dwayne, we're good? Okay.
That's what I was asking.
Sorry, go right ahead.
No, I just didn't understand because I have good relations with my neighbors, and I thought he approved. So now he doesn't. I'm just not sure why. I don't understand what he meant.
Okay, and I think that's something that's.
Is it during the building process? Is that what we're talking about? Or?
I think that's going to have to be between you and him as far as why he doesn't approve.
Well, maybe you could ask that question. Is what I'm saying because I don't know I didn't understand.
Yeah, that's actually something that we don't do.
Ah, gotcha.
As far as asking him, but thank you. Oh, if there's nobody wishing to speak, I'm going to have you come back up for any closing remarks. Is there anybody else wishing to speak from the public? Okay. Seeing none, please come back up. Any rebuttal, any questions, anything you need to do?
The addition on here will actually make the neighboring property more private. If you see the picture up here on the picture up here on the right, the lower one, the garage sticks out for an existing patio that is in the backyard of this house. And if his patio is on the other side of that garage, it will actually be much more private when the garage structure is put there between this patio and the patio on the one next door.
Okay. Is there anything else that you wish to add? We're going to open up for questions.
Okay.
See if there's any. If that's it, is there any questions from the board for the applicant?
I got a question.
Okay, Doug, go ahead.
Can we put the picture up where you're showing the new setbacks that you're proposing to say you want? Because what I saw was you're not meeting any of those. If you want to make the front the other, your front of your house is too far and your back of your house is too far.
Is that the picture, Doug?
That's a picture.
Okay.
Second comment is, if you want a variance, this is not a minimum variance for a garage. This is a two-car garage.
No, one car. One car with a storage behind it. So 2 cars will not fit in there.
And 19 feet wide? I'm sorry, did I read it
No.
wrong? How wide is a garage?
Garage is 10 feet.
Okay, sorry.
The side setback is what we're asking for, the 5 feet on the upper left-hand side. The rear setback, this garage, if you want to maintain the same setback of the building, right now we are maintaining the same setback as the building that's on there. You can see the U-shaped, but that could be brought down, that whole thing could just be slid down to be within the other setback, that dotted red line that's across that, as a stipulation. But either of them will give more privacy to his backyard, to his patio, the neighbors.
That's an opinion, because having a wall 5 feet in is very different than having a hedge in space.
Well, there's a solid hedge line in between that as well.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody from my left side have any comments? Anything they'd like to add? Okay, thank you, sir. I'm going to close the public hearing, and I'm going to bring it back to the board. Board, do you have any comments, or do you have a motion?
Can I just a really quick question of staff?
Sure.
There was the diagram that's up here where the applicant sort of alluded to this kind of alternate setback idea, like the way, is there a reason why this property happens to have the side setback at 25 feet and not the 5 feet like other similar corner lot properties?
So when we look at setbacks from a zoning standpoint, the location of the front door has nothing to do with what we may designate as the front setback. When the houses are designed, they're all designed to be compliant. They're all going to have a 25-foot front. In this case, it would be a 15-foot rear, a 5 side, and then the corner yard setback, which is on the other street, is 25% of the lot width.
Okay.
So that's the way the house was designed to be compliant.
Yep. Gotcha. Thank you.
Chair, if we can get something clarified on the record, the distinction has been made between the new garage and the storage. So for the record, I want to completely understand what structures they're seeking the variance for, because the storage structure, which is a part of the garage, which in total, I think in accordance with Plan A04, appears to be about 31 feet, 6 inches. Is the distinction that the architect is making on record suggesting that they're only looking for variance for the portion of the structure that they consider the garage?
Okay, and sir, I'm going to ask you to jump back to the microphone so we can have that answered. In that case, let's minimally open up the public hearing. Open. Now I'll ask the question. We're good.
Okay, repeat the question, please.
Earlier, a board member inquired as to the size of the garage, and your testimony was that the garage size was less. You indicated a size for the garage, and then mentioned that there's a storage to the rear of the garage, and I was curious as to whether or not that distinction was you indicating that you're not seeking a variance for the storage that's in the same structure of the garage to the rear.
It's one big open room garage. It's 30 feet deep, so the car is 20 feet. So you've got 10 feet of storage area in the garage where the bicycles and boxes and things go.
So this application is for the complete 31?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you for the clarification.
And that is, again, that whole structure is slidable toward the front property, if so deemed.
Okay. Mohammed and Dwayne, did you have something else?
No, I just wanted to clarify. The other questions I have would go beyond my purview as the board attorney. I just wanted to clarify what the variance request was.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it, thank you. I did open the public hearing, now the public hearing is closed back up again. Bring it back to the board. Any discussion or entertain a motion?
Board
Go ahead.
discussion.
Board discussion.
If people were in favor of this, I would like to see it pulled back, so the back of the garage is even with the back of the house. So at least it's less intrusive to the neighbors in the back corner.
I agree with you. I would say the same thing. Or make it not as deep. It doesn't need to necessarily be 30 feet deep or
Yeah, I mean,
slide it.
I don't care about necessarily, I think 30 feet's very big, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying the back wall should be even with the back wall of the
Yeah.
existing house adjacent to it.
Yeah, I
Pull
would
the slide
agree.
the whole thing forward. I also don't see how you're gonna back out of this driveway ever, but that's a different story. I just don't see how that's physically possible.
Dwayne, with the conversation that's had in the recommendations, I don't think that we could make any changes to this plan because it'd have to go back, correct?
If it doesn't alter the code sections that he's seeking a variance from, that's fine. I'm curious as to whether or not the sliding it back would require any additional variances.
So even if there was any type of agreement, it could create another issue, potentially.
No, it would be a notice issue in terms
Okay.
of what's noticed for this board meeting. So what has been noticed is just the variance from, it is noticed for a rear yard setback of 15. Okay, my apologies, what I was referring to as the side yard is the rear yard in this case. So as long as whatever alterations are made are still within the request that was noticed before this board, it's within your purview to grant it.
Okay, so procedurally, we are making some recommendations up here that may be palatable for the board. Of course, we would have to get the approval of the applicant before we do that. And procedurally, how would you best say that get done?
You can bring the applicant back forward or his representatives and see if there's a proffer
Okay.
to make the adjustments.
Thank you. And before we do, Doug, Amy, I know that you guys were in agreement. Does anybody else have any questions toward that statement? Or
I would
comments?
support that.
Pat?
Moving it back?
Moving it north.
Moving it towards the front.
Yes.
More towards the front. It doesn't bother me.
Right, so the back wall is even with the back wall that's adjacent to it. Pulling it down the page.
So that it stays the same size, it just slides further to the front of the home, so the back of the garage is parallel, flush with the back of the house.
Yes, unless they want to make it shorter.
Mohammed?
Chair, I would like just to bring it to the architect. I might just bring it over here that I don't know, there might be bedrooms which have to have an egress window, so just bring it up at this time, by moving it, how it's going to affect, I don't know, so I just bring it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to bring you back up. And you've heard the comments, and I'd like your,
Currently, if I was asking for the rear setback to be the 5 feet, which currently is on the house now, let me see, go to page,
and when you speak, I know it's going to be tough. I'm going to need you to speak in the microphone at the same time. And you can carry that with you or roll it with you.
there we go, okay. If you see the two sets of dotted lines and the shaded garage, that garage right now, the back of the garage is at the same depth as the existing house is. Where it says 2,600, that line straight across there is the back of the house. I have lined it up with that right now. Now, this entire garage could slide back to the rough dotted line and be within the other setback requirements for both setbacks.
Yes, not what we're saying. Not what we're saying.
Okay.
We're saying even with the house.
You want to pull it even, all completely even with the house? Okay, that is doable as well.
And it's doable, and would your owner agree to that?
It's just a matter of windows. Yeah, I understand. We were trying to, there's two reasons for this design.
No, really, at this point, I'm just trying to, I don't want to make a commitment for you that you're not willing to make a commitment to. But you could tell where the board's going on this. So it's going to be up to you.
Yeah, no, my only point to the whole thing was the way
If I can,
Yeah, anyway.
if you can approach the microphone, please.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
That's all right. I'm just going to have you state your name again, just because it's recorded.
James Procanic.
Go ahead.
The reasoning for where they put it in the back, which is what you're discussing, was it actually aligns with the primary house and creates a courtyard. It actually looks more, it's to most people would look more normal. So I guess the question is there another reason to move it, slide it back? Okay, that's what I don't understand, yeah.
Microphone, Doug.
So, I'm sorry? I don't have to explain my opinion. Okay, that's fine.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead, Pat.
What is that room? So they're talking about moving this back, and it appears to me that
So-
you.
Chair, one question. Moving it back means, is it towards the street?
Towards the street, it is,
Okay,
yeah.
that's what, please.
Yeah, but you, there's at least one window on that side of the house. Is that, are you listening to me? Apparently not. So the windows on that side of the house are, what rooms are those?
So from the back to the front is the master bathroom and near the closet of the master, and then my son's, which I wouldn't block. My son is in the front.
So
what
the window that would be covered up if this.
would be the
Bathroom, master bathroom.
No, that one was always going to be covered. It would
Yeah.
be the one that's by the closet.
Yeah.
So it'd be two window, one in the bathroom and one.
No egress,
So you're not covering a bedroom window?
no, no egress windows.
If you did what is being discussed and moved the entire garage structure towards the street and covered up a window, you would not be.
It's non-egress window,
Okay.
so it could be removed, covered up.
Okay.
Okay. So thank you. Thank you again. Where does the board stand at this point? I know there's been some discussion. Does anybody have a motion that they're willing to make based upon the information they have in front of them? Pat?
I don't have a motion yet. I wanted to have a little discussion. Should we do a motion first or discussion first?
Discussion.
Okay.
Either way.
I feel the same way about this as I did about the previous one. This is a little bit more, it's not a decorative item. But it's unfortunate that they can't have a garage, but it isn't denying him the use of his property. And so even, I sense what the mood of the board is that, cut the baby in half and give him a little bit of something. But I just don't see why this is unique and special, nor do I think it's historic, having been built in 1960. But you can get by with a house in Florida without a garage, even though everybody would love one. I would love one. But it's not a requirement to make reasonable use of your property. So that's sort of where I am.
I don't know if this is relevant to it, but as far as the neighbor, I would understand if he's looking directly at a concrete wall or just like a few short shrubs or a fence or something, if it's right in his yard. So I am sensitive to that. I also think if they're making an improvement to their home and to the neighborhood, that this isn't like, I think it's totally different than the last one because the guy was clearly making a fountain, not a bird bath. But you know, my point is, I don't have a problem with it. I really feel more for the neighbor's stance, and I think that it would be an improvement, and it would make the property also very unique in its own way, more than it is already. But of course, we have to do everything by legal, you know, the way that needs to be done. So
with that, Chair, if I can direct the board's attention to the applicant's narrative and response, unlike the previous case where there was a actual statement that they did not meet one of the criteria, there is criteria that's listed. If the board is choosing to approve it, it would be sufficient to state that you adopt the arguments that laid out in the applicant's narrative response and find that they meet the criteria. If you choose to deny it, I would hope that there's a little bit more dialogue in the record in reference to their narrative and response, pointing out where you differ in terms of their the positions that they've made, and deny it on that basis.
Thank you, Dwayne. One comment just for the board, and it's not that I like to do this, but if it's a matter of the dissatisfaction of the neighbor that is swaying the decision, then the applicant may have the opportunity to be able to bring this back after having that discussion with the neighbor. If it's based on other items here, then we'll need to be specific with the other items when we either move forward or do not. Does anybody have any comments to that?
Probably a good idea. I'd like to just ask a question.
Sure, go ahead, Doug.
I just have a staff question, just a curious question. If you're building this garage, do they need to integrate the roof, the new roof, into the old roof to be hurricane rated? Or can it be built and stand on its own?
It could not be built as a detached garage in a way that would in any way change the variance request. It still would be a request to build into the rear yard setback, the 15-foot rear yard setback,
No,
whether it was attached or detached to the house.
No, not my question.
I got it. Yes, the new construction has to comply with the Florida Building Code, which is today's code, to be hurricane rated.
So-
And how it's designed structurally is up to the architect
okay.
and the designer of record, basically at the bottom. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Everybody has their microphones off. Bob, you have something that you wanted to say? No? Mohammed?
I just want to explain to the architect, probably I felt they have not understood. What the board is saying is that if you want to come with a little better design, maybe you want to pull the case for this month and come back with a better design. That's what I think the board is looking for. It's up to you to decide. If they want to vote, they can vote it now. Or you can come with, as discussed, with what board is looking for the next month. It's up to you to either, what do you call the? Defer the case for next month. Yes, please.
Thank you, Mohammed.
Thank you.
In the microphone. In the microphone, if you're going to request a deferment, just say that we request a deferment.
I request a deferment till next month.
Okay, let's take a vote.
30 days?
Will that give you enough time,
It is
30
up to
days,
the
or-
applicant, whenever he comes back with the revised design, so you want to go for the next month or the month after that?
As soon as possible.
Is it possible to go for the next month?
Next meeting.
Hold on a second, there's some staff
So,
discussion.
I just spoke with us, it is going to be the month after that because the deadline is already passed for the month, so it's going to be a month after that.
Okay.
So November meeting.
Right? Okay.
Okay.
Do I need to put the sign up again?
What's that?
Do I have to put the sign up again?
Yeah.
Okay, I make a motion, we defer this item to the November 2025 meeting.
Okay. Any discussion on that? Nicole, if you could just take the vote on the deferment?
Mr. Wolf?
Yes.
Mr. Mead?
Yes.
Mrs. Mergler?
Yes.
Mrs. Rathburn?
Yes.
Mr. Hagopian?
Yes.
Mr. Galis?
Yes.
And Chair Elfman.
Yes. Motion passes. We'll see you in November. I think there's a song like that. I just don't remember which month. Okay, is there anything for the communications to the city commission?
Board, can you guys please keep the packages that you guys have for that case,
Okay.
for the second case?
The second case?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do our best. Is there any communication for the city commission?
Did they?
What happened to our
Yeah.
guidelines they were discussing?
Oh, talk about Stonewall on record.
So,
Talk to the
I-
microphone and ask your question.
Question of staff, what happened with the commission discussion relative to the, what's the procedures of this board that were being discussed? I don't know if it was a workshop or for a meeting.
Did they?
Was it planning and zoning or? I was inquiring as a staff, they brought up at the last meeting that city commission was going to be
Correct.
discussing procedural matters.
So the item that you're referring to
Oh,
were
hang 1 second, Dwayne. If I could ask you all to step outside? If I could ask you to keep it down, or you could bring it outside? Yeah, that's okay. Okay,
Sure,
sorry.
sure. The item went before the Planning and Zoning Board. They review it as the local planning agency, and they recommended approval. So what we have is there are two things that are moving forward, two separate ordinances that will eventually get to the commission in October. One is establishing a administrative variance approval process. This is for de minimis variances. It would allow the zoning administrator to approve such variances only if there is no opposition. If any opposition is received, the variance application automatically is forwarded to this board for consideration. So we're careful not to call that a denial because we're not creating a quasi-judicial review on an administrative level. And the second will be the change in your voting, your approval requirement. Now you have the majority plus one requirement, and it's going to be a simple majority if approved by the commission.
What about the people who get denied here? Their recourse. What does that mean?
Yes. So that is another part of the prior. So in conjunction with the administrative variance, there will be an appeal to the city commission rather than to circuit court initially.
And that's coming up in October.
Yes.
Thank you.
So we will, I'll get with you and provide you with the dates and make sure we notify you of the dates that it will be on the agenda.
And could we get the verbiage of the
proposed ordinance?
Yeah, so.
Sure.
I act intelligent when I get a question asked.
Okay. Thank you, Dwayne.
No problem.
Does anybody have anything for the good of the city? Okay. In that case, we stand adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.